what's important when you're in that hedge fund mode is to not do anything remotely truthful, because the truth is so against your view that it's important to create a new truth, to develop a fiction.
Hey guys, what's up? Today I just want to go through some of the proof of fraud on Wall Street and show you guys again how this Wall Street is just completely fraudulent at this point. It's totally stealing from investors, retail investors. So we're just going to go through a lot of the evidence we've seen over the past few months. And part of the reason I'm doing this video today is because a lot of videos have surfaced in the last couple of days just adding to this, including a video of Ken Griffin I'm going to show you in a little bit, basically admitting that they are in control of the market. So if you've never believed that the markets were rigged, I would argue that I don't know how you could continue to believe that after I do this video. So I'm going to go real quick, go through all this, and yeah, let's get started. First thing, check this out. If you want to get involved in the market, what's the point? Especially if doing a 401k. After 5 years, the last 5 years, 401ks have only risen $1,200 in 5 years. I don't know about you, but if I still had my 401k, I'd be pissed. I cashed it out a few years ago so I could trade on the side, because the value is so much better if you do not go into the market at this point. The days of Warren Buffett are over. You no longer just buy a stock and hold and get wealthy from it. That just doesn't happen. You have to be actively engaged in order to get do well in the stock market. And even then, your odds have gone down considerably, because simply none of it makes sense, because it's controlled by people behind the scenes. Check this out. Charlie Kirk calls out the days before the Hamas attack on Israel that just happened, stock traders began anticipating events and began short selling extremely ahead of time. More than the Great Recession, more than Israel-Gaza war in 2014, more than the COVID pandemic. Can you believe that? They started shorting even more than that ahead of the attack. And this reminds me that this also happened before 9/11. Several people were short selling before the 9/11 attacks. I know that that implies other more sinister things going on as well. I'm not going to talk about that right now. We'll just keep going on about how the markets are rigged. So next up, I want to talk about naked short selling, how the entire markets are flooded with counterfeit shares. If you want the math on this, you should go look up Suzanne Trimbath's stuff. It's very good. She talks about how about 9 billion a day is stolen from retail investors through counterfeit shares. And so let's just look at some of the stocks that have been naked short sold down to almost nothing, by showing that they have much more shares being traded daily, sometimes than even their entire float, which is frankly impossible. Also, South Korea recently banned short selling.
But authorities say the ban is needed to stamp out illegal practices that could hurt trust in the market, such as naked short selling, where investors sell the shares without arranging to borrow them first.
They banned short selling because naked short selling was getting so rampant. They noticed the fraud in their markets. This is clearly in American markets too, and it doesn't take long to notice it. Check this out.
You have folks that are still, in the industry, and they've been like, I wouldn't advise you to talk about it, blah, 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 blah. But I think that they're living, they're all living in kind of a fake world. I would, illegally naked short sell stocks every day. Every day. As long as I was collecting commission. And the bank did not. The client will send you an order electronically. All you do is you click on the order, you go to execute, it'll pull up a little box, you type in anything you want, and you just hit OK. You don't ask questions. You appreciate the order. And if that involves shorting a stock naked, you do it anyway. Because management essentially tells you just create the business. All the prime lenders, they all do it.
And they created a program where when you press the F3 button on your keyboard, poof, it overrides the dried up supply. That's it. Just hit F3 and the computer would say automatically located, even if it wasn't true. So you could do this as many times as you wanted, magically creating phantom shares that didn't actually exist.
Like this happens everywhere, every day.
These people that are doing this have to be put in jail. So the question is, How can we exert pressure to force the Department of Justice and other people that have the ability to put people in handcuffs to actually do it?
Mullen, the company trying to compete with Tesla with electric vehicles, they've been shorted. Some people think it's up to 5 billion, but regardless, in just this one day here, volume traded more than 10 times estimated float in the first half of the trading day. That's simply impossible. Next, we have BBIG. The daily volume on this day was January 13th, 2022. 144 million was the daily volume, and yet the float is only 123 million. Again, that is just simply impossible. This is from an NSCC document released in October of 2022 and found in January 2023 by most of us. But so far we've counted 400 million short shares in the last 3 years short against GTII. And right here, the NSCC is going against Alpine, their prime broker. And it says it right here on the bottom here. Deficiencies in Alpine's backtesting targets are because of a net short portfolios, with the top driver being a concentrated short position in GTII. This is actually, as far as any of us know, the first time that has ever been called out by the NSCC, DTCC, and a stock. Next, I want to show you what's kind of the biggest of them all at the moment is MMTLP. MMTLP was a spinoff that was never supposed to be traded. It was a preferred share, never intended to trade. It did start trading, most of us believe, because they were trying to get the shorts a way out of Torchlight. And so they decided to pull MMTLP back to a private equity. In the meantime, leading up to that, most people intended a gigantic short squeeze, as the shorts would theoretically have to get out. And instead, FINRA halted trading 2 days before it would have gone off the market, taking 65,000 people's investment in MMTLP completely off their brokerage accounts. So they lost all that money as of right now. This is still in settlement, has not been concluded. Meanwhile, Congress is starting to get involved. We have several letters, one from the Financial Committee back in August. We have this from Barbara Lee for California sent to Gary Gensler. We have this from Representative Eli Crane, because it has now been a full year since the trading halt of MMTLP. These are actual signed congressional letters. This is becoming a huge deal. So ask yourself, if fraud in the markets wasn't real, why this? Why is this going on? How is it possible that so many stocks keep going down other than the big seven that continually prop up the market? Ask yourself this. Ask yourself why Jim Cramer in the beginning of my video talked about them controlling the markets. Next, look at this video from Ken Griffin of Citadel admitting they control the market.
Passive investing is actually rooted in the theory that markets are efficient. And that markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel. That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel, firms like Fidelity, firms like Viking Global, Capital Research. We're all running large teams of people that are engaged in fundamental research, trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued. Trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued. And passive investing, in a sense, enjoys the market efficiency that we create in our work each and every day.
And Ken Griffin just admitted it. Now watch some more back in the day when Jim Cramer was feeling a little more honest. Watch what he says about this.
There's struggle out there. And the truth is the first casualty. Don't believe me? Think I'm being too cynical? Can't believe the system could be so corrupt or stupid that the regulators aren't out to help you, that the SEC's not all over this. I mean, come on. I've been in this game for decades, and trust me, when the bears are out to destroy a stock, for a very, very brief time they can do it. This is how it's. This is something you don't hear very often, but it's quite true. Stocks react to whoever shoots first, not how good the numbers are. It's scary out there. And right now, the bears have to shoot first in order to color the earnings and get you frightened to selling. If you're not frightened, you won't panic.
So there you go. So far I've shown you someone admitting they naked short every day. I've shown you South Korea banning short selling. I've shown you Ken Griffin admitting they control the market, Jim Cramer admitting it, all on video. And then I've shown you several examples of stocks highly manipulated, and then also the examples brought up of short selling before cataclysmic events impacting the market so people could profit off of these terrible events. Now, this is a kind of a whirlwind. I know there's a lot going on here. If you haven't been in this yet, if you haven't been aware of this yet, it is real. I've been in this now, watching this now for 3 years. I know people have been in it up to 24 years fighting this. Several people have been in 5-10 years fighting fraud in the market. And it almost feels hopeless because it's so overwhelming, especially because most of us were told, just put your money in investments and it'll all turn out okay. I get it. That is normal. I used to believe that as well. Now I know that the financial system is completely corrupt. And problem with this is that if we don't do something soon, this is going to impact much greater our children and great-grandchildren going forward, because if this doesn't get cleaned up now, it's going to get worse. Pensions are going to dry up. 401ks are getting less and less valuable, and that used to be the alternative to a small social security check. It was supposed to be safe, but no, it's no longer safe. They are robbing it completely. So what do? Well, you can become part of this community. You can get on Twitter. You can start educating yourself. That is the key. Start getting educated on all this. And then, quite frankly, share this video, share other videos, share people's tweets, share people's posts on Facebook that have information. Get the information out there. Talk to people about it. As this continues, we will start putting the choke on them, and it does have to end. It does. And a lot of us believe that this next coming economic downturn is going to push a lot of this out. And also, finally, Patrick Byrne, the CEO of Overstock, who at one point successfully beat naked short sellers to cause a massive short squeeze in his own stock. He broke them out of it by several strategies that worked. Finally, we have hope that when this next election, he is close to President Trump. And if President Trump gets elected, he has said that he will appoint Patrick Byrne to a high post over our markets, whether it's Treasury Secretary, SEC Commissioner, we don't know yet. But Patrick Byrne has said that if President Trump becomes president and he is put in charge of this, he will put an end to naked short selling and counterfeiting of shares on day one. So we can hope that we finally have somebody involved. The SEC has been turning a blind eye. FINRA has been complicit in this, especially in the MMTLP situation. Nobody's been helping us yet on the governmental side of things. We have hope that'll change soon. This is becoming a movement. It is spreading. It's becoming bigger by the day, and you have an option to become a part of it. I hope you will, because we're all fighting for our future so we can all prosper greater moving forward. Anyways, God bless you guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'll talk to you soon.